Welcome, y'all. I'm excited. We have a great episode. And I know a lot of people say that all the time, but we really have a great episode today. So I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to bring in my two lit crew, my advisor, which is also my snookabuka, which is also my mom, and then my support system, who's had my back all my life. That's my sister, Cole. And then I got my manager, Paul, who got my back. So I don't want to hear nothing crazy because he got it. Paul Garino, VP. What up, two lit crew? And let me say this to everybody right now. If I were you, I would watch till the end of the show. That's all I'm going to say. You're probably going to fast forward to the end of the show because I said that, but I would watch till the end of the show if I were you. What's up to my two lit crew? And so we're going to cover it a little bit later in the show, more in depth. But I just wanted to ask you guys, like, the All-Star game was brought up, and what's your favorite part of the All-Star game? Like the whole thing as a whole, you know, there's the parties, there's the Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union Spades party that I heard was lit. Michael Jordan throws an epic Jordan brand party every All-Star because his birthday falls around there. The dunk contest, the 3-point contest, the skills competition, or just the game and having the players be the captains. Now, what is the most exciting part of All-Star to you? For me, you guys could probably assume it's the 3-point contest. I like seeing them splash, but what's it for y'all? Let's start with you, Paulino. What's the most exciting thing to you?
I forget. Does the 3-point contest and dunk contest happen the same night or not?
Well, actually, this year it's gonna happen the same. All of it's gonna happen on the same day.
All right. Well, I like all the pre stuff. I don't watch the game.
Okay, so the game is
competition.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for real. The game is it's like rec league almost. No one's really trying until the last couple minutes. So yeah, I can see that. What about you, Cole? What you like?
It has to be the dunk.
Okay, wow. What you like about the dunk?
I like the dramatic. I like the dramatics. Like, I like that people try to upstage themselves every year. It's like, okay, well, last year they jumped over somebody. I like the upstaging. So I think it's the dunk contest for me because I'm trying to think, how else can you dunk? Like, how many different ways can you do it? So me, it's a dunk contest.
Okay, I like that.
Aaron Gordon won last year, by the way.
Oh, Cole's category 1, you said?
No, Aaron Gordon won last year.
Oh yeah, Aaron Gordon, and then dropped a diss tape, didn't he? Or he dropped like a diss track afterwards. Like, y'all must have forgot. What you think? What you think, Snookabuka? What's your favorite?
Well, since I can't attend the parties, which makes it a little duller for me, you know, being there in person was so much better. But at any rate, I like the 3-point contest because it's the thing that the women can always have in their particular all-star game. So I like, and then my daughter was a 3-point shooter, so I can't help but like the 3-point contest.
Yes, my Snookabuka. I love that. So we got 2 3-point contests, a dunk contest, and who else likes it? What else did we like?
Skills competition.
Oh, people like the skills competition? I was thinking that's one that probably could get. I'm a skills competition winner, so I probably could have.
You're the point guard. That's all. Yeah,
right, Renee. That's your cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't know if they brought it back yet. I think they did bring the skills competition back, but it was gone for a while. So for a while there, I was the last person to win the skills competition before they brought it back. But now they brought it back, so it's lit.
I want to see like a straight up race though.
Like what? Like just a sprint?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Did you guys know that Wayne Gretzky had a sprint with Pele and Sugar Ray Leonard, like a straight 100 sprint, and he dusted them? I'm like shocked.
In their prime?
I'm with Paul. I would love to see a straight out sprint. You know, I'm a
runner too.
I'm a runner too. But you know, you see people run in different aspects of different sports, and you're like, wow, they're fast. Like you see a basketball sprinter, you could see a
football going to win. Football can't be in it. Football and track and field, they be like their own lane. Like, but that would be. I would love to see like Hunger Games style for like pro athletes. I know MTV pretty much did it with like pros versus. I know they did something like that, but I would love to see pros just compete in all kinds of different like things and just see like who is the best athlete amongst all athletes. Like, I love that. Overall. A triathlon overall. Yeah. So I like that. So that's a nice little intro. And I have a little surprise for my lit crew. So I'm throwing in a segment that they have no idea about. The segment is called Remotely Random, and it's when I do random things like what I'm about to do right now. So I was acquiring information on the low. I was asking people, when is their birthday? What time were they born? Where were they born? They think I'm just having conversation, and I don't even normally do that. So they should have had a little red flag up. But the reason that I did that is because I'm bringing in the Hood Sorcerer, AKA the Hood Healer, who is an astrologist who's going to read us our zodiac signs based on all of that information that you guys gave me. This is going to be fun. Okay, so the Hood Sorcerer, as she has called herself, which I love it, is I asked her whole story. How did she get started, and what can you tell us about it? And I gave her all of our information. Her name is Christina. I'm going to bring her in right now. All right. So I'm bringing in Christina, the Hood Sorcerer, the Hood Healer, all of that good stuff. But Christina, first, before we get into the readings, tell me how you got into this.
So astrology for me at this point has become like a lifestyle. So as a kid, my mom, she would literally have like dream interpretation books all around the house, crystals, sage, just all different types of stuff. And as a kid, for me, I just saw the crystals and thought they were cute. So I was like, okay, I'm interested in this. But as I got older, I started looking into the meaning of astrology and how it kind of just affects our daily life.
Okay, so I know that you guys have heard about when Mercury is in retrograde, and it's starting to be talked about more. All these things that I know nothing about, like I tell people I'm a Sagittarius, and I don't even know what that means, but people be getting hyped sometimes, like, "Oh, you're a Sag." I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about anything, but that's why Christina is here for all things, everything. So, Christina, I'm going to give the floor to you. Let's start first. Who should we start with first?
If you want, I mean, I can jump into it with you first.
Oh, okay. Let's get okay.
I'll jump into it with you first. So as far as your sun sign, let me just give you guys a quick rundown. Your sun sign is who you are, your sign. So like you said, you're a Sagittarius. That's what people see you as. That's your overall who you are, your personality. Your moon sign is going to be your inner. So how you like your inner self. So that's more so your emotions. Now, as far as your Venus, that's how you love. Your Mercury is how you communicate. And then your Mars is how you kind of interact, like your anger. And it can even be sex drive. So as far as like knowing your personalities is deeper than that. So I did put together, like I said, all of your guys' signs. And I'm going to email you all your chart because you don't actually want people to know your entire birth chart.
Why? Wait, why though, Christine? Why we don't want people to know? Why? They can manipulate us or something?
Yes, they can manipulate you. So you can figure out when someone is going to die, when they'll have a kid, when they'll get married, all through your chart. Okay, so as far as your birth chart, you do not want people to have access to that. Like I said, they can predict when you're going to die, when you'll have a kid, when you'll be married, and they can manipulate these things, especially if someone is out to get you. So you don't want anyone playing like any dark magic or anything like that on your life. So keep that information to yourself. But for Renee, so I have you as a Sagittarius for your sun sign. Your moon is a Capricorn. So that's kind of a conflict in a sense.
Yeah, so I'm conflicted even hearing this.
Right, so it's kind of like a conflict in a sense. I have your rising as a Leo. Your rising is how people perceive you when they first meet you. So, you know, as a Leo, you give off that star power, you know, all about me, very attractive, you know, that type of feel, God complex in a sense.
Whoa, I'm scared of that. Like, wait a minute, I don't want to hear that.
I mean, it's a good quality to have though. Like to me, that's a very great quality to have. Probably, you know, while you're doing a talk show, that's something that Leos like to talk. So do Sagittarius as well. But you kind of like to be involved with people and you like that leadership and that star role. So definitely probably something as far as how you got into, you know, podcasts and like all that type of stuff.
Why am I nervous hearing this right now? I'm like, what are you going to tell me? Like, I'm a little nervous.
Very nervous.
So, your Mercury is Scorpio. And then your Venus is Scorpio. So that as well is a big contradiction as far as your sun and your moon signs. So as far as love,
do I have multiple personalities? What's happening?
in a sense. But when you learn your chart, we all do. That's what's so funny. Like once you learn your chart, you're like, well, that's why I act that way. Or like, I'm a Gemini. So it's like, I'm a Gemini, but like, I love like a freaking Taurus. That's the complete opposite. So it's just like, you'll kind of realize why you may do things a different way.
Huh. Okay, so let's get to somebody else. I'm uncomfortable. Talk about Nicole Young. She's on the list. Nicole Young.
Yes. So Nicole, how are you doing? So I have you as a Pisces. Your sun sign is a Pisces. Your moon is a Leo. So, you know, that's a contradiction, like I said there. Your rising is a Sagittarius. Your Mercury is an Aquarius. You love like a Pisces, and your Mars is a Cancer. So as far as your chart goes, you know, Pisces are very big dreamers. You know, Pisces, you guys dream, you guys are like artsy and you can be very spiritual people in a sense as well. And as far as your rising being that Sagittarius, you know, that's kind of like head on. So you kind of get the job done. I don't really know Nicole personally, but I'm pretty sure you can agree, Renee, like she's probably one of those people that kind of gets the job done. And so that's the type of personality that you do have.
You got you hit a lot on the head there. I mean, I do agree with a lot that you said. So yes.
How do you feel, Cole, about being red?
It's weird when somebody else could say something to you and you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, and they don't know you.
Someone who doesn't know you.
Yeah, someone who doesn't know you and they can tell you that much about you. You're like,
because Cole can even, when you said artsy, I always like, well, first of all, Cole wraps Christmas presents like she's an elf straight from the North Pole. Like she's just so meticulous. She lines up the paper. Like, you know how the paper is like a print? Her paper, you can't even see like it. She lines it up. Like, who does that? She can draw. So just to let you know, is that
Pisces are really good drawers. Like I had like an ex-boyfriend and close friends that are all Pisces, and they can draw and write. The handwriting is like something I've never seen before.
And the spiritual part is very true too. Like
unbelievable.
And prayer and read that's all me too. So yeah.
Cray. Let's see what you got for my VP Paul Garino. What's up?
Yes, hi Paul. So I had your sun sign as an Aries, your moon as a Gemini, my sign, to go there. Your rising as a Libra, your Mercury as a Pisces, your Venus as a Pisces, and your Mars as a Pisces. So
oh my gosh,
triple Pisces.
A lot of continuity.
So Aries in general, Aries are, again, leaders. And Aries are kind of hotheads.
That's just a chip on his shoulder. That's all.
Aries are hotheads in a sense. And so as far as the Pisces being your way of communication, it can make you kind of emotional. And so sometimes it can kind of take, it can kind of, but with the emotion, they react in, I don't want to say anger, but instead of them being more of the crying sign, like a water sign, like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, as an Aries, it's kind of more strong on. Like Aries are a lot of known to kind of like not fight. I don't want to make it like violent, but they're more physical. And
Paul's not going to cry about it. He's just going to figure out another way, and he's going to have the last say, basically. Yeah.
Right. And that's what I mean as far as the fight. Like they will argue all day and make their point. They'll come back a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 months later, and still kind of make that point to you.
What are you thinking, Paul? I like this. Okay, so Paul is the only one so far that doesn't seem like he has like 5 different personalities as far as how you read us. So, Paul, how do you feel about that?
It's all right.
And this is so great because we know, like, this is like so far out of our realm, by the way, Christina. So this is like amazing. Like, I've never been read anything. I don't even pay attention to my zodiac sign. So this is like,
you know what's really weird?
What?
Today, my mom told me she cut somebody's hair and she was a medium.
What?
Yeah, so that's strange.
So, man, today, what's the date? Hey,
Did you know anything to her?
No, she didn't know till after.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. So what this is a day. So what do you have for my Snooka Booka, my mother, Bert Leah, Montgomery?
Yes. Hi, Snook.
Hey.
So you actually are my favorite, my second favorite
Aquarius.
sign, Aquarius. Yes, I love Aquarius. So your sun sign is Aquarius. Your moon sign is Taurus. Your rising is Libra. Mercury's Capricorn. Venus Pisces. Mars Pisces. Now, when it comes to Aquarius, you guys know it all. Knowledgeable. Can't tell them nothing.
Come on, Professor Montgomery. Okay.
You guys know it all. Like I said, very intelligent. Whatever you put your mind to, you guys will accomplish that. And then as far as being a Taurus moon, that's kind of your fixed in a sense. So you kind of don't like change.
That's my husband's sign, Taurus.
Taurus do not like change.
Did he?
Yeah.
Diddy does not like
Does not like
change.
change.
100%.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
Do not like change. And then as far as your rising as a Libra, like I said, Libra is an air sign, so that coincides with your Aquarius. So just very outgoing, very likable person. As far as your communication with Capricorn, it can seem a little closed off at times. So sometimes you can be a little closed off, or it might come across as cold to others who might be a little more emotional.
Oh, look, I'm about to say Snook can give an eye. I know that.
Let me say this. It's so funny that mom's other sign is Taurus, and she's married to a Taurus, because I'm married to a Leo, and my other sign was a Leo.
And that's where a lot of times people will say, wait, I'm a Pisces. I thought I was supposed to date Cancers and Scorpios. Why am I dating a Leo man? But then his Venus could be something that, matches with your Venus. So again, your Venus is how you love, and like your love languages and your foundations and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Your Mercury, again, is how you communicate. So that Leo could communicate like a Cancer, and that's why you guys get along so well.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask Sam.
What's going on?
This is way too deep for me.
This is Sam.
We're gonna
What's
call
your
this remote.
zodiac sign?
Wow, you don't even know.
So I'm with an Aries. What is it?
Number one match.
I guess that's all you have to do.
That's a number one match.
Well, let me add this. When you were talking in the beginning about the dream books and all of that, yeah, I grew up with those because I lived in a city where they played street numbers, and they had dream books everywhere because everybody was looking at the dream books trying to figure out what the number of the day was so they could put a dime on it and put it in a box and make a lot of money.
What? I don't even know what just happened. What is that?
So basically, they were looking at their dream for those magic numbers to make their bank.
Oh wow, they was betting the house on a dream.
Hey, the lady who won $172 million. This woman, her husband had a dream 20 years ago. She played the numbers and she won.
Okay.
Wow.
And this is the other funny thing. When I used to be in Detroit, I used to dream, and one time I told them this dream, and the number came out the next day. And so all the time they were always asking me, "Did you dream last night?"
Oh my gosh. This is blowing my mind. Okay, one last thing. What do we know about Libras?
Libras. So Libras are Libras are ruled by Venus. So that's a sign of love.
They're lovers. They're suckers for love. They'll do anything for love.
Yes, suckers for
my
love.
goodness.
Most Libras can always dress. They love fashion or some sort of, when I say they love, so they love the flashiness.
Oh wow. So the my makeup artist is a Libra. And
yes,
so
that's
crazy. That's crazy.
Well,
Christina.
we should call this remotely exposed.
I know, right? Like, and yes, email, and don't forget to email us whatever else that we don't want people.
No, I will. I'm going to email you all your charts, and it breaks everything down. So I have it where you'll see what everything means, and then it'll show you what your sign is.
Perfect. That's
awesome. Christina, thank you so much for hopping remotely. Like that was awesome. Never done nothing like that before, but I saw it on another show and I'm like, yo, we should do that. And this was like exceeded expectations. So thank you, Christina, for hopping on here.
Thank you guys for having me. I really
Hey,
appreciate
and
it.
real quick, before you go, Christina, where can people find you?
Yeah,
So you can find me. My personal Instagram is _PiggyG. My astrology Instagram is the Hood Sorceress. And then yes.
Wait, say the last one. You got
sorry. So I do I work marketing and communication where I use astrology to roommate match all of the people who travel with us. And that's through Haywire Weekend.
Haywire Weekend, man. That is so lit. Yes, Christina, thank you. You are a friend of the show now. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Thank you guys.
Seventh power, please hit me up.
Okay. I will. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks, Christina.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay. How did you guys like my little surprise?
I'm gonna have weird dreams now.
Right. Like this should be called remotely exposed because you sometimes it's like people say, "Oh, this is what a sign is," but when somebody tells you everything, you're going, "Yep, yep."
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you're remotely exposed.
Unreal. All right. Well, let's keep the show rolling. Next up, we have Remote Scoreboard. And this is, there's a lot going on all the time. I say that all the time, but it's like, even with myself, there's a lot on the scoreboard. But Paul, tell me what we're going to talk about this week.
Kind of in the fitness realm. Peloton hit $1 billion in the fourth quarter of 2020.
I believe it.
So yeah, I just want to know what you guys thought about that.
My first thought is I remember when Peloton during the pandemic, when we were like in the house, they were having like races with celebrities. And I know that like that made them take off because people couldn't go to the gym. People couldn't train how they used to. People couldn't work out how they used to. And then here comes Peloton like, yeah, you can still compete. Just get our stuff. And now you can compete with the best in the world. Beyonce even has like something to do with Peloton. So you knew they weren't going to miss with Beyonce on it.
Yeah. And
I was very envious of that.
And like the instructors are getting signed by agencies now, which is crazy.
Really? Like to do what?
To be
ambassadors.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay, to be coaches. Okay, I can see that then, motivating speakers and all of that. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not surprised either because I can literally name on one hand 5 people that I know who said when the pandemic struck, they had gym memberships and they were paying them and they couldn't go to the gym. So then once that actually fizzled out, they were like, well, I might as well just pay the money and have a Peloton. I know someone who had a Peloton room where they had a TV on the wall. They had, because the thing is that she worked in her basement. She went up to her Peloton room because people could literally not leave.
The wealth. I mean, a Peloton room, excuse.
Well, no. I'm going to say this. She already had the room. She just cleaned it out.
Okay. That's kind of what listen, that's kind of what I did with like my studio over there. I turned it into literally a different type of studio, like a TV studio, but yeah, so make it hat and cap and I like it. Okay. What else we got, Paul?
Big money. So the Dodgers signed Trevor Bauer to a 3-year, $102 million guarantee contract, but now he's the richest contract in 1 year. So he's making $40 million in this year, and then $45 million in 2022. And he could opt out after 1 or 2 years. And then the third year he'd make $17 million.
I'm underwhelmed.
Why?
That's not a lot of money.
I'm sorry.
What?
I know what my salary is. That's a lot of money. And this man is hitting a
that's
baseball and running
largest...
around bases. And then the thing is if he gets out the home run, he's not even running the bases. He's literally just jogging.
Well, if you want to go even crazier, so the position players usually pay, it's like 162, like say like 150. So a starting pitcher only plays like 5 games.
It's double.
Well, you know why I say that, and I was being facetious, but the NBA numbers now, it's like the 7th man off the bench can get $100 million contract like easy in the NBA now. It's crazy the money that we just played Rudy Gobert. He got a $205 million extension.
Here, let me say this. basketball and what they do
Uh-huh.
and baseball, they're both hard sports.
Yeah.
But if I can hit the ball hard enough, I don't have to be chased. I don't have to run.
Yeah.
I can literally just hit a home run and just jog around the bases and wave the public. Know that my check is going to hit because
Know that my
a home run. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different thing. Like, if that seventh man gets in the game, he better make those shots.
You better giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up.
He
Oh,
don't have
that's
a
true.
choice. So I see it as, yes, baseball players, I'm not saying I'm not taking anything away because they, believe me, they have to work just as hard as everybody. They got to be able to hit it hard enough to get it out of there. But if they do, that's less work that they have to do. That's motivation.
I agree that physically demanding, I mean, I think football should be the most paid if we're talking as physically demanding as it is. If I have to play and I know that the longer I play, the higher chance I have of having post-career symptoms and post-career problems, y'all better pay me for my time while I'm there. Like, pay the man. But okay, I get it. What you think, Sticker Booker? What you think about that?
Well, I'll say it's great, and all I want to do is now I can pray to be reincarnated as a baseball player.
Oh my gosh, Law, we had astrology talking. Now she's talking about reincarnation.
Oh,
what? Snicker Booker, Lord have mercy. Paulino, what you got up next?
You guys are too much. Back to the NBA All-Star game. It got moved to Atlanta. So business-wise, I'm assuming that's probably why they're doing it, you know, for the TV ratings and all that. So do you guys think it's like fair to the players for them to go there and things like that?
And let me just set this up because LeBron James went on a rant. If people haven't saw, but he said, you know, me and my Lakers team, we had 71 days in the offseason because they went all the way to the last game. Then he said they were promised to have a break, and that break was going to be March 5th through March 10th. And now all of a sudden they're hearing about a game on March 7th. And he was like, yo, that wasn't the agreement that I signed up for. He talked about COVID concerns. And he just said, frankly, he's tired. And then De'Aaron Fox, you know, a big time point guard, he talked about, he said, if I'm going to just be honest, I think it's dumb. He was like, but listen, I'm hearing that they're going to fine us if we don't show up. So if I get voted in, I'm going to play. But basically the players are speaking out that they don't necessarily like this idea. What are y'all's thoughts on having the All-Star game here in the A? Of course, everything happens in the A, but what are y'all's thoughts about having an All-Star game in this pandemic season? Let's go with you, Cole.
I think it's hard on their bodies, period. I agree with LeBron. It's like, if you say this is what we're going to do, we've agreed to this, and then you change it, it's not right. I'm sorry. It's not right because this is a physically demanding sport. Running, you talk about shin splints, you talk about people rolling ankles, you talk, you know, the body physically needs to rest, regardless if you are 20 or you are 30 or you are 40. And if your mindset, and a lot of our people, you know, with people's mindsets as far as athletes, if we are told all you got to do is make it to this date, our body literally is going to shut down.
Yeah, because our mind shut down at that.
Our mind has shut down. So then if you tell me I got March 5th through March, and then you say, oh, no, you don't. The game is on March 7th. That means I'm going to have practice on March 8th or March 6th. Then your body is not going to be rested. It's
100%. 100%. Snooker Booker, what do you think about that?
Okay. Well, you know, my main thing would be the safety part of it. It's just, you know, you're just adding some more chances for something to go wrong, or for a sickness, or, you know, I just, you know, COVID, you know, I'm happy that the sports wanted to entertain people while they were home and couldn't do anything else. But I think we need to look and, you know, try to wrap our arms around the players as well, and know that, you know, we're safe at home being entertained while they're out there not being safe. And, you know, I just don't, I don't know.
I like it. No, I mean, that's one of the big concerns. COVID is a valid concern. You guys on this, Paulino? What do you think?
I agree with Snook.
Like, it's just not worth it. Like, what is the point in doing that? And then, so we already talked about it a little bit earlier, but the NBA thought that they were making like a compromise. And so they're like, hey, we'll have everything on the same day. Like the All-Star game, the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, and the players was like, If we're having a break from March 5th through the 10th and you put a game on March 7th, we no longer have a break. Like we have no vacation, no rest time, no nothing. So, that's tough. It's tough. I mean, I understand it. I get it. But like they said, it's a business. And that's why it's on Remote Scoreboard, because logically it makes no sense. But then when you factor in the TV rights for an all-star game and all that comes along with it, sponsorship, like the Sprite dunk contest, like, like things we already know that are sponsored, then you're like, of course they're going to try to do it. What's up?
Well, I want to say this then. If they don't get the results they want, if they aren't peppy, the games aren't 100%, the duck contest is whack, and if people don't give that 100%, then you know why. If you just get like a lukewarm response, don't be surprised. I mean, like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing and complying with what I said I would do. Do I have to do it at 100%? No.
Yeah. LeBron said he will be at the game physically, but he will not be at the game mentally. So to Cole's point, that's exactly what's going to happen. The players are just going to show up and look like the Monstars took all the life out of them. It's not going to work. I don't know, but listen, I digress.
Yep.
Yeah, I digress. All right, so we're going to move along, and we all know the sports business is booming. So for Hero IRL, I wanted to bring in somebody that's booming in the sports industry business and the gaming business, because the Black and brown community isn't thriving in it just yet. So Dante Simpson, he has something to say. He's a heavy hitter in this game, and I'm going to let Dante tell you about what he has going on. Dante?
Hello, my name is Dante Simpson. I am the CEO and co-founder of eSpat TV. It was an opportunity that was built, and I'll kind of backtrack a little bit. So we have two different entities. There is eSpat and there's eSpat TV. So eSpat itself was born out of need, to be quite honest with you. It's more or less a licensed platform, very similar to Getty, for example, but we only focus on esports and gaming content globally. So my partners and co-founders, they were honestly just looking for photos. They couldn't find any esports photos and said, hey, here's an opportunity, and opportunities are often born that easily. And we started and have become the largest in this space for licensed content, photos, and assets. But I am a content guy. So I started to take a look at the future of where esports and gaming is going. And I said, wait, there's another opportunity here to identify premium content. Think high-end commercials, think of shows, think of your esports, your ESPN 30 for 30s around esports content. So your content that lives not only on Twitch, but also on some of your other platforms out there. And we have pursued this journey, found some amazing partners, and here we are, eSpat TV. Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to broaden our scope, and we had a global agenda. And we said, who are some of the largest names, some of the beloved folks in the world of content that may not today be focusing on esports, but they need to. And we created a list. We, as you know, it's the festive time, so we checked it twice, and we were more or less just trying to identify who would be the ideal partners. And the crown jewel of that was Ridley Scott. We took a look at his creative group, and a lot of people associate him with, American Gangster, Gladiator, some of his other, feature films that have kind of put him on Mount Rushmore, beginning back in 1977 with Alien. So he's been around for a while, but a lot of folks don't know some of his current work. And I recommend that you go to RidleyScott.com, take a look. I mean, there's so many Beyonce fans, but they don't know that that he's behind a lot of Beyonce's work as well. And just to kind of really get a scope of some of the stuff that he's done. Forgive me, I think it's Black is King. Most recently coming out, but you kind of take a look at some of the stuff that Beyonce's done, and you realize that Ridley Scott Creative Group is behind just that, to just give you an example of some, but there's just so much more. Childish Gambino and so many other folks. So when you start to marry culture and Ridley, you don't really associate that, but when you do a little research, you're like, wait, this guy's worked with Burna Boy? What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense, but it has happened. So we took a look at the gaming culture, and we thought that he would be a great fit. We kind of pitched him on what we were doing. He got it. He loved it. And, the creative group, his Ridley Scott Creative Group became a part and partnered with eSpat TV. It's interesting to see a lot of the partnerships that have happened. So I'll give you an example. A lot of folks from our culture have stepped into the gaming community. First of all, because a lot of them are just simply gamers. You know, you look at folks like Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg, they game all the time. And then you start seeing folks like Post Malone, Sway Lee. There's just a lot of folks who have stepped into this space. Offset, you know, and a lot of folks have really stepped in, and it's just a natural fit. You know, when you start talking about cross-pollinating cultures, Juju Smith-Schuster from the Pittsburgh Steelers loves gaming. He is a true gamer to the core. And, you know, just identifying, you know, that here's a culture where music transcends, gaming transcends. We know what the #1 music art form is in the world, hip hop, you know, transcends. And, you know, once you start to mix that world, it only makes sense for people of color to step in and truly step in from a creative perspective. And I give a shout out to people like Delaney Parnell. You know, he created Play Versus, and they're tackling the high school agenda. And to have these other folks who have stepped in that look like you and I, that truly have a passion for and are lending their creativity. And I liken it to the NFL. And we often say, hey, there's no black owners. Why are there no black owners? Why is this the NBA? And we're just, you know, we're looking WNBA, you know, we start looking at ownership and saying, where are our people? And, you know, I took my cues from Tyler Perry, to be quite honest with you. And this was during the Oscar So White era, where he said on the BET stage, so many of you are trying to have a seat at the table. I'm in Atlanta. I built my own table. Come join me. That's what I'm saying to folks. Listen, you want to figure out where to align in sports. You want to figure out these opportunities, but we wait until all the seats are taken. And then we want to say that we want to fight to have a seat at the table. Build your seat now. The opportunity is now to actually build your seat and build your table. You know what I mean? So bring it all together. And that's what I would urge for our folks to really take a look at this in a real business, from a real business perspective, and capitalize on opportunity. I always say, and I love talking to you about this because you obviously come from a basketball background. I always say that the NBA had 3 stages of the NBA. There was the early era of the colorful basketball. I always call that the Dr. J era, right? And then there was the rivalry era. I like to call that the Magic versus Bird era. And then there was Michael Jordan. And when Michael Jordan came along, he taught everyone how to create an ecosystem, create a business, become a conglomerate within yourself. And what do we see now? We see LeBron and everything that he's built with Mav and Rich and the entire crew over there. We see folks that, you know, KD and what he's doing with Rich and, you know, these folks that are doing tremendous things in basketball. I actually come with that mind frame. We all know that gaming is a huge industry, but how do you actually build stars? I applaud Ninja. He's done a great job at it. He is one. We need to have more, maybe not ninjas, but we need to have more individuals that are their own brand globally, not only within the community, but outside. You don't have to like basketball to know exactly who LeBron is. Like, if you just, you know, that's when you start, you know, people mourned Kobe, you know what I mean? A lot for his basketball accolades, but a lot because of the person that he was. You know what I mean? He is somebody who transcended, rest in peace, somebody that transcended basketball itself to become his own. And look at what he accomplished. I mean, he went on to win awards, you know, outside of that space from a production and content perspective. So that's what we're looking to do, is not only amplify the community in 2021, but also to bridge. So we are the first agency that has a first look deal with Netflix. We're the first agency, we're the first group that also has a first look deal with Hulu. How does that happen? You know what I mean? It's like but these folks are understanding that they need to tap in. We understand that we're trying to amplify the community. We love what Twitch is doing. But, you know, it wasn't until the NBA became a global game that it really became what it is today. And obviously esports is that global game, but we want to create those global stars independently, not only within the space, but throughout. That's our 2021 objective. So our pandemic pivot is identifying teams, organizations that we can amplify outside of the space while doing it inside of the community as well. A lot of folks, you know, may love the commercial which is for Free Fire, without ever having played the game. You know what I mean? And that's where you look to leverage, you know, the global appeal of somebody like Cristiano to amplify the title itself. You know, I know folks who are like, wow, I've never played Free Fire. I'm gonna go download it and check it out. Well, that's the objective. You know what I mean? It's how do you identify somebody that's got tremendous global appeal, the largest sport globally, and is truly committed. That was actually really good in the commercial. That's also, you know, a wonderful thing that he had the personality to match. And you know, bringing that type of thing to life. So we take a look at Free Fire with Cristiano. We take a look at Cyberpunk 2077 with Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? And kind of bringing these folks, and that's what we're looking to do. And when I say premium content versus just content, that's where we step into this arena where folks trust us with their A-list talent to say, listen, if we're gonna do it and we wanna do it right, let's align with these folks. And we are those folks. So we're looking at the difference between content and premium, and that's an example. And, you know, tremendous folks to work with. Our teams haven't had, you know, it's been an amazing pleasure to work with everybody that we have. But that's an example of how we're bringing, you know, one group in to this audience. And then you'll start seeing there's an inbound, outbound relationship. You know, next stage of that campaign is what does it look like when Cristiano Ronaldo is playing soccer versus a gamer? You know what I mean? And what does the funny of that look like, and kind of bringing that to life through commercial campaigns. So that's, you know, the future and the vision of what we're doing here. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you joining us. You are now rocking with Remotely Renee. Stay tuned.
I love that, you know, because we all know the future is in tech, in esports, in gaming, in all of that. And so Dante, they are leading the charge. And so Dante, I'm going to holler at you because we got to do some things because I'm trying to get in that space more. But let's move on. Let's move on. We're at a little bit different order than we normally do. But like I said, this is going to be a jam-packed show and we got a lot to get to. So remote roses. Every week, I like to give out roses to people that are just doing dope things in the community. And so for this week's remote roses, for this whole month, we're having teachers give out the roses. And also we're showing love to the teachers because they're killing it out here, having to go virtual and different things of that nature. So let me bring in the teacher that's going to give us some roses this week and just a little bit about her. So her name is Natasha Ali, and she's a teacher of an elementary school in Chicago, the Chicago area. So I know that she probably has some great stories. That's for another day. But Natasha Ali is going to come in here and she's going to help us give out some roses. And then I want to ask her a couple questions. So Natasha, where you at, girl? Okay,
hi guys. Thanks for having me.
Hello there. So what's up, Natasha? Okay, it's Natasha Ali, right? I'm making sure I'm saying your name.
Yes.
All right, so Natasha, you have went completely viral on TikTok, 129,000 followers, something wild like that. First of all, just tell me, like, what do you do on TikTok? Like, what is everybody clicking on?
You know, it's the kids' reactions and stuff. I've always wanted to have like a camera on me because just hearing the things that the kids say to me every day, I'm like, man, I wish I could look at an adult and be like, you hear that? You hear that? So then when I was able to put the camera up and just record the kids' reactions, it's perfect.
Oh, I can imagine because we've all seen the show. Kids say the darndest things and different things of that nature. Snook, you good? And all of that. So I just can only imagine the things that you hear during your class segments. Oh, Snook was getting her. I was going to say, Snook, are you all right? Things that she hears during her class segments. So if you guys want to be entertained, please follow Natasha Ali on TikTok. It is entertaining. And so Natasha, you're going to give out some roses for us today. So are you ready? Let me get everybody, get your boards, get your stuff ready. Okay, I got my board. Paul, did you have a board today? We never know if Paul is going to participate in the team activities because he does his own thing. So
I hope he participates.
He better participate. I'm going to tell you that right now. So hit us with hint number 1.
Okay, so hint number 1. This person supported American designers and was considered a fashion icon.
Ooh. I got a guess.
I do too. I'll wait till my second one now. Who did you put up?
Oh, why can't we see that? Hold on.
Who do we show?
You can try to show. Okay.
No, I said.
I don't know if I can see everybody. Oh, nope, that's not it.
None of them?
No.
None of them? Snook
Yeah,
guessed,
one of them is. Someone
Snook
got it
guessed
already.
Michelle
No,
Obama.
no, keep going.
No, keep going. Don't tell us who
Keep
it
going.
is
Don't
yet
tell us,
then.
Don't tell us.
Okay.
Okay, wow.
This person advocated for education, physical activity, and nutrition.
Oh, yes. I
other
already know
things.
this now. Avocados. Hello. What was that song? What was that song? Come on, y'all gotta know. She was singing a song about vegetables. Okay. Hold on a second. All right, keep going. What's the third hint?
I'm gonna stick with mine.
So this person quoted, "When I get up and work out, I'm working out just as much for my girls as I am for me, because I want them to see me as a mother who loves them dearly, who invests in them, but who also invests in herself. It's just as much about letting them know as young women that it's okay to put yourself a little higher on your priority list."
You better preach to us. Okay. I like this lady. Keep going.
Wait. So did you guys guess it right already?
Yeah,
Yes,
we did.
we know this
Yeah,
stuff.
Paul.
Where you at? We know this good stuff. You can't give us a good one. We gonna really turn up for it. Keep giving us the hints.
All
I
right,
want her to
all
get the
This
roses.
Chicago native created a public health campaign to help solve the problem of childhood obesity.
Obesity, West Virginia. Hello, somebody. We're like the #1 state in childhood obesity in West Virginia. We really are. So I need to link up with Michelle Obama, and we need to get West Virginia all the way together.
Yes, she's right.
But I want to hear the rest of I like what you're telling us. Keep telling.
I have one more here. In
Okay.
2020, she topped Gallup's poll of the most admired women in America for the 3 years running.
And I'm gonna tell you, if they saw her in that suit, they know why. Boy,
Yeah.
keep talking about that.
Wait.
That
So we know, if you don't know who it is yet, it is
forever first lady.
First Lady Michelle Obama. Snooka Booka. You can't tell Snook nothing. Look at Snook. She hyped. We know you got it right on the first try. Snook hyped.
What's the tally? So right now, Mom is winning, right? I guess she still got the tally because it's.
Well, how is she winning? That's her first one.
No, that's her second one. And Paul got one. I have.
No, I got two.
What?
Oh, what's your receipt?
Yes.
You didn't have 2 days of boards.
Because I had to go back and look, and then I forgot I had one, but I forgot which one it was.
Well, then it doesn't count. So Snook has 1 or 2. Snook.
2. Mom has 2. She tried.
Who's your winners? Who did you guess?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Shoot. I can't remember, but I know
I
I
remember
had.
she got 1, and then she got this one. And Paul may have 2, but I don't even remember him have 2 days of board to even write it down.
So is this the accurate?
You ain't gotta put me out like that. Yeah.
So I guess right now, Paul, we need to fact check Paul, but he's trying to tell me that he needs 2 tallies on his sheet.
All right. Well, Cole is at 0.
Snook has 2. You just gave Snook 1, Natasha. I know you couldn't tell her nothing when she was sitting up there. She knew it. She's like, y'all can get the rest of y'all's clues if you want to. She knows she
got out the first clue. That was supposed to be harder. I didn't think she would get out that first one.
I love fashion.
You was talking to the wrong group. But before you go, tell me one of a crazy story that's just happened in the classroom that you were blown away. I know it's like probably so many to choose from, but one of those moments where you were like, wow, or one of your most popular TikToks where it happened, and just tell us a story.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm like, oh, don't say that one. Let me see.
No, you can say anyone. I want to hear it all because I know kids say some wild stuff. So, and especially your elementary school, right?
Yeah,
that's
these
terrifying.
Kids are wild for real. I mean, I hear like not so much this year, but like kids are like, hey, they got a secret, they got a story they want to say. Oh, my dad has a new friend, but we can't tell mom because I mean, I've heard that 3 times. My dad has a new friend, her name's Michelle, but we can't tell mom. Oh, she's really pretty. I like her, but we can't tell mom.
I know.
Like, don't tell me either. Don't tell me either.
Like that.
Tell me either.
I'm like, I know mom. Don't tell me either, because I will tell mom.
You mean to tell me they are in there snitching like that?
Oh, you know it. That's why these parents are already scared about sending their kids to school because they're going to tell your business.
Oh my! And
They're
why
going
they
to
tell
tell
the
all
kids?
your business.
And see, the number one thing you don't tell kids is don't tell anybody, because then they know they got to tell everybody. They about to run tell that.
Yes, they're going to tell everybody.
Oh,
because it's a
no,
big
Lord.
secret just weighing on them. They have to tell someone.
They have to tell on the nanny. I cannot with this. That is crazy. Natasha Ali, thank you.
I gotta ask what the like TikTok video that went most viral for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My most viral TikTok video is that one kid asked me if I could do the WAP dance for him, and it was at the beginning. He was so innocent.
Now you lied.
Yeah, he's in second grade, and he was like, "Miss Lee, can we do the WAP? Can you do the WAP? Can we do it?" I was like,
but you
no.
mean like the song that says there's some I know you lying, Natasha. Now what was they gonna do with that song?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's not appropriate. Do you even listen to the words? He's like, yeah, it's appropriate. It's appropriate. I'm like, no.
And he's gonna try to tell us what's appropriate for him.
Yeah, that had me rolling. So
funny. Snap. We're gonna play that one actually. So look, here is the video where Natasha, do you do the WAP? We ain't even ask if you did it or not.
Not today.
Not today. I love it.
Still waiting for that though, but no, it's not happening.
Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I know even in my son's classes, somebody turns on their volume, and then they play wild songs for everyone to hear. The most vulgar part of the song. That's what the kids are doing now. That's how they're choosing to get tossed out of class in school right now. So that's the new wave, but I love it. I like this teacher vibe. Yes, Natasha Ali. Thank you for coming in and joining the Two Lit crew and myself on Remotely Renee.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Keep up the good work.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't give out the roses. Excuse me.
Roses.
Michelle Obama. This rose is for you, Natasha Ali. Michelle, let me get some more. What's up? We gotta give out the roses, okay? Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you,
Thank
Natasha.
you, guys. This is great.
Thanks. Oh man, I tell you, we had a show today. Okay. Let's see here. What are we moving on to next? Snooka Booka. Oh, wait, nope. Reel it back in. It's not you just yet, Snooka Booka. This is Remotely One-on-One. And so for Remotely One-on-One, this week I went one-on-one with Brandon Copeland. He's the epitome of more than an athlete. I mean, he went to an Ivy League school, football player, plays for the New England Patriots right now, went to a Ivy League school, the same school that he went to. He's now a professor at, what are we talking about, for a course called Life 101. And his course literally teaches you everything that you need in life that we should have learned in school: taxes, how to buy a house, all of that stuff that we probably should have learned in school on a normal basis. Brandon's teaching you that. So check out his website if you want to just learn those things. I highly recommend it. But Brandon, let's talk about it. All right. So Brandon. Okay. So you're way different than the typical athlete mode. And I want to kind of get all the way to that. So let's start out when you were young. You're in high school. You have your choice to go pretty much a lot of places. And you choose an Ivy League school in Penn. What was your thought process going that route?
Yeah, I think, so the third to last game of my senior season, I'm captain of the team. Coach puts me in, somebody gets hurt, puts me in at halftime on kickoff returns. My first time doing special teams since 7th grade, maybe, right? And now it's crazy. My career has been special teams. But crazy. I remember, dudes running down the field and this thing feeling like war. Like I remember just being like, God dang, I haven't seen the game like this in a while. And my own teammate falls on my ankle, falls on the back of my leg, and it pops. And I'm just like, oh, and I'm limping around the rest of the game, rest of the season, literally. Still able to play, but it just wasn't the same. And that for me was the moment where, all those people who've always said, hey, like you're one play away from never being able to play again, all those types of things. Mm-hmm. That was like, oh, y'all not playing. Like,
right.
So had the opportunity to go to Penn. My grandfather also, he played 11 years in the league, won a Super Bowl, went to two of them though. And he was also just that we all need to have that voice of encouragement, that voice of like, oh, I can do this type of thing. And he was the one for me who helped make it, hey, like if you're good enough, they're gonna find you. But nobody will ever be able to take that Penn degree away from you type of thing. So that's where
I like that you brought up your grandfather because, like, again, he already had the pedigree and different things. Growing up, was that like a crutch? Like, you know, you knew you had somebody right there that's already been there, already done it. Was he like involved a lot in your football career younger?
I think he did an amazing job because he never pushed himself or pushed me to football, right? It never was like an overbearing thing. We would be at the house, he was just granddad, right? And he was very humble in that regard. So it actually made it more, I think it made me fall in love with football more because it was my way of kind of like secretly connecting with him. He had 6 grandsons. He had 3 daughters. All of them had 2 grandsons. So he always brags to people like, yeah, I kind of got back at the world. Finally got me my boys, right? But like my brother and I, we were the only ones that played football. So it was kind of like my secret, you know, language with him. And although he loved us all the same, you know, you would never really tell it different. He bragged about us all equally. I, you know, personally just always felt like that was something cool that we had together, type of thing. So, you know, I know he was proud of it, and everything like that. But I think the cool thing, one of the things I took from him too, as I said before, is like he never pushed us, right? It was always about that we have fun. And literally after the game, it'd be like, hey, coach, how'd you do? You know, how'd you feel? You know, I felt good, but I missed this play, I missed the type. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Did you have fun? Yeah, I had fun.
I like that. So he wasn't like stuck on how you played per stats. He just wanted to make sure you was enjoying it.
Exactly. I think he knew ultimately if I had fun, then, you know, we'd be straight, right?
Yeah.
So definitely. I think that was cool, man.
Okay, so you get hurt a little bit, but you get to Penn State. You're there now and you're trying to make a name for yourself. What is that like getting to the next platform? You already felt what it could be like a little bit like, wow, the game can be taken away from you, but you advance to the next level. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we end up going there and going to UPenn because, you know, we it's funny. The biggest letdown to people in the world is when they hear you're a football player and they think you go to Penn State. Because Penn State is good football, it's big time, it's the white out and all of those types of things. And you're like, oh man, you go to Penn State? You go to Penn State? No, it's UPenn, it's Ivy League. Like it's not really, we don't really. Yeah, man, I go to Penn State. You know what I'm saying? So it's so.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, but no, it was cool. It was I thought I was gonna hate it going into it. As crazy as that sounds, because I'm like, man, I'm going to Ivy League school. I'm supposed to be playing big time football, all this stuff. And you know, once you commit to something, now you're like, I can't take it back.
Yeah, you're in there. You're in it.
It ended up being the most amazing experience of my life because that competitive spirit that drove me on the football field, which clearly has worked out well for me, right? It also started to drive me off the field where now I saw people coming back after the summer break, where my freshman year, I went home, trained, and, you know, I worked at Walmart and Social Security. And they coming back, I just had this internship at Morgan Stanley. I just did this at Goldman Sachs. I just did this. And you're like, oh, you made what? Whoa, that's dang.
And so that was a little snippet. We didn't even get to Life 101, but I highly recommend on Thursday, check out the full interview, man. This guy, he just has it together. He understands finances, life, all of that. So, and by the way, his little boy is so cute and they go viral like every other day. It's so cute, but I digress. I'm moving on. Let's go on to, and thank you, Brandon, for hopping on with us. Let's move on to Snooka Booka's area, Remote Roots. And I know that Snooka Booka's been getting her notes together, preparing all week. She's actually has this all laid out. So Professor Montgomery, do your thug thizzle.
Okay, so this is still Black History Month, and so
Facts.
we're coming up on Valentine's Day. So I thought I'd do a great Black history love story, and it kind of really intersects with my life. So let me get started here. It's probably one of the greatest love stories in West Virginia. I said one of the greatest because
Okay, coming for the notebook. You heard it here first.
Okay, so it's about Samuel Cabell. He was a wealthy white plantation owner from a powerful Virginia family, and he was known for his strong will and his temper. He was born in 1802 in Georgia, or they think in Georgia, maybe in England. It is believed that he traveled from Richmond, Virginia to the Kanawha Valley, and that's where I reside, the Kanawha Valley, and he brought slaves with him to work in the salt mines. At the time, Kanawha Valley was part of the state of Virginia. On one of his trips to purchase slaves, he saw a beautiful Mary Barnes. She was on sale at a slave auction, and he was stricken with her beauty. And instead of purchasing the 3 field hands that he went to buy, he spent all of his money on Mary Barnes and purchased her. It was not strange during this time in history for slave owners to have children with their slaves. But the difference in this story is that he not only bought Mary Barnes, but he also married her. And all of the children he claimed as his own, instead of selling them like most slave owners did. So he went as far as to find her first child that she had before he bought her, and purchase him and bring him back to his mother so that she would be with her first child. Okay, so Samuel Barnes ended up purchasing 967 acres of land in the Kanawha Valley, which was 9 miles from what is now the capital of West Virginia, Charleston. He moved his wife, his family, and his slaves to this property, and started having them work, and had a really working farm there. He also set his wife free and all of his children. So he went to great lengths to guarantee that his wife and his kids were able to, because he figured something was going to go wrong. So he went to great lengths to make sure that his wife and his kids were in his will and would inherit all of his wealth and his property. So the land that he purchased was originally owned by George Washington.
Oh, wow.
So court records indicate that he wrote 4 wills. The first one was in 1851. And so he went on to write 3 more wills and a codicil to his will, all the time because he knew that something probably was going to go wrong with him. So it was during the Civil War time. And so on September 12th, 1863, when he wrote the codicil for his will, he took the slaves, because he had originally said the slaves would work for 6 years and then they would be free. But something made him mad, so he took their freedom away and still just made sure that his wife and his kids were indicated in his will to inherit his wealth. Okay, so on, July 18th, 1865, Samuel Barnes was killed by some neighbors who were upset with him. Some say they were upset with him because he helped the Confederate soldiers, and others said they killed him because of his family situation. They didn't like that. So anyway, 7 people were tried and acquitted for his murder. And so on December 1865, the courts ruled that Samuel Barnes's wills would stand and his wife would inherit, as he had hoped. His wife and children would inherit his wealth. So in that time, it was unheard for a colored person, much less a colored female, to own all of that property. It was more than any of the white landowners owned, and it was more land than all of the Black people in West Virginia owned combined.
Wow.
So in 1869, Mary petitioned the court to have her and her children's name changed to Cabell. In 1870, the commissioners divided the land amongst her and her children. And at that time, it was worth $42,028, which would be about $500,000 in today's market.
Woo!
Before he was killed, Samuel Cabell tried to give his kids the best education possible. So because there was no education for Negroes in West Virginia. So many of his kids went to Ohio to Black academies to be educated. Even after his death, his kids were still sent there for their education. And then, so it ended up as an 1870 rarity that there was Black educated college people in his family. Some of them were doctors, some teachers, etc. Some of the children settled in other states, and some came back to the Kanawha Valley to live. Eventually, the hometown the farm that he had in the town turned into the city of Institute, which is still there. And it was one of the few places that freed slaves were allowed to live in West Virginia. So anyway.
Snap. I realize what's happening. Oh, snap. Keep going, Snap.
So in 1891, the West Virginia legislature passed a law creating the West Virginia Colored Institute. They looked around all over for sites to put this Black institution. They even tried St. Albans, but St. Albans didn't want that there. So at any rate, they bought from Mary Barnes's daughter, Marina. How many acres of land was it? 30 acres of land. And there they started West Virginia, what is now West Virginia State University.
State University. What? That's crazy.
That's awesome. I never knew.
And they purchased it for $2,250.
Wow. And are you done? Because I have this is crazy, because a lot of people probably are wondering, like, how in the world did an HBCU get in West Virginia? Like, I'm sure a lot of people had that question. And this is what in the Bridgerton is going on. This is Bridgerton.
Yes.
So let me finish up. So Mary Barnes died in 1900, an 85-year-old great-grandmother, and she was buried in the family plot next to her husband who had been slain. And so this is on this campus right now of West Virginia State College. If you go down the main street, you can see on the right-hand side of the road where they are buried along with a couple of their kids. Okay, so in addition to graduating from West Virginia State University,
Talk your talk.
And working there for 30 years, I was blessed to be able to work, to know two of his descendants personally. So one of my junior high teachers, Mrs. Ruth Holt, was one of his descendants. And after I started working at State, we actually served on the board of advisors for West Virginia State Community College together. And then another one of his descendants was Mrs. Thelma Hall. And I don't know if Renee or you or Nikki remember her. She attended our church in St. Albans, West Virginia. And I've been friends with her daughter since the first grade. That's Marty Luke.
What?
The Cabells.
What? This is just bizarre. Like, this is crazy.
The world is too small. It's so small.
I was waiting for you to tell us he was our one of Fannie Pearl's husbands. I didn't know that.
Related. Did he have some kids? He
Could be great granddad or what? I was like nervous for a second. Like,
okay, so today is the home of West Virginia. Today Institute is the home of West Virginia State University, a major power plant, the State Police Training Academy, and many, many homes that are now racially diverse in that particular area. And I forgot to add that as HBCU, West Virginia State University is also racially integrated as well. And it always had the name of, this is one of the major slogans, a living laboratory of human relations. And so I feel that the birth of Virginia State University gave birth to my Valentine's Day story.
hey, and her Valentine's Day story is she met my Diddy on campus. I'm gonna let her tell that story a whole nother time, but their story is wild in itself. This is it's like crazy.
Yeah.
We're mind blown. This is our real mother, but like we should be sitting down more and hearing these stories, but it's crazy. We're going to hear these stories with you all. I love it, Snookabuka. I love it. Okay, so Snookabuka took us back to West Virginia, and so we have a segment coming up, and I don't know how to feel about this. So the segment is called Dear Basketball. I'm sure you can assume why. And so I've always wondered what like my dear basketball moment was going to be like. And And now that it's here, I'm like a little bit nervous, speechless, but I wanted to just start by saying I'm retiring from the WNBA, and I enjoyed all 11 years of it. Like, I was one of those players that I enjoyed my time. Go check the tape. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And I know it's cliche to say, because everybody always says it, but I really do plan on staying around the game, staying around everything involving basketball. Like, that's just, it's in me. So I'm going to do it. But, you know, when I think back to when I opted out in June, oh gosh, I was trying not to cry. Ugh. Okay, so goodness. All right, so get through this. Hold on. This is ridiculous. All right, I'm getting soft in my older age. It's probably time for me to retire. But okay, so when I think back to when I opted out in June, I cannot hold on. I'm gonna have to pause and get myself together. All right. Let me drink some water. Get it together. All right. Thank goodness for this thing. Let me see. Oh, Lord. I'm a cry red mess. All right. So let's get it together. All right. So when I think about when I opted out last June, I was like thinking, all right, I'm going to hit a little pause button and I'm going to see what's going on in the community. And then it just kind of, gosh, I did not expect this. Jeez. All right. Let's get through it. Let me see. We're going to have to skip around because, all right, I'm going to get through the whole thing in 1 second. All right, so when I opted out in June, I really did not expect that to be my last game, my last anything. But I wanted to add to the momentum, and now it's like it's rolling and everything is just going so well. I'm about to just not have to do this right now. Okay, let me just take a second. All right. So I just wanted to add to the momentum. And so it's rolling right now. And I want to first thank God because I've had a healthy career. I mean, 11-year career. I've not been injured but once. So I'm blessed. That's a blessing because you can't really control injuries. And so I was very fortunate for that. Tore my ankle one time and then I was wearing Kobe's ever since. But you know, I need to thank my family, Snook, starting with you, Snook and Diddy, Cole, Shay, everybody. And so my whole support system, I need to thank everyone like that. I am trying to get through this. I did not expect to cry this much. I knew it was coming. What is going on? But my whole support system, you know, because it started in West Virginia and it took us all over. So it just started out as me wanting a D1 scholarship and wanting to, gosh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Okay, so it started out as me just wanting a D1 scholarship. And then I went to UConn. It was like the rest was history. You know, I went to the WNBA wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, as Snookabuka would say. And I went in there and I just wanted to be a part. Like I wanted to be a part of everything. The league, the sisterhood. Ugh. All right. I wanted to be a part of everything, like the league, the sisterhood, like everything that the WNBA had to offer. I wanted to be a part of it. So I did that. I kind of dove in and I was enjoying it, you know, ended up being 6th Woman of the Year, All-Star, just a lot of different things, 2 championships, more than I could have asked for. So basically, I want to just thank everybody, my coaches throughout all that time. I've had some unreal, amazing coaches, my teammates, my family, my fiance, all of my family now for supporting me on this wild, crazy journey. And I'm excited just to see where it takes us next. So, dear basketball, I shouldn't be crying over you because we're still going to be together, but let's just keep this momentum going. So I'm thankful for my 11 years. Cole, Snook, what y'all have anything? This is kind of crazy because y'all were on the journey with me. So Do y'all have anything, Cole? I did not expect it to be that hard. But I love basketball, so I kind of did expect it, but yeah.
Okay, well, all I can say is it's been great. It's been a way of life
Yeah,
for us
for sure.
since you were around 5 years old. I just can't imagine or even know the number of games and events and things we've attended down through the years. And it's like we lived and we breathed basketball, and it's been great. And you've made us very, very proud. Let me add that. Never a day in my life have I been disappointed with you and your career, and the things and the choices and things you've done. So all I can say is it's been a great quarter of a century, and I'm looking forward to the next quarter of a century.
Thank you, Snickerboka. Appreciate that.
If I'm still around.
Oh, you better be. Oh, we got stuff to
Cut it
do.
out.
You better be. Cole.
I have dreaded this day. I've dreaded today all day since you told us, because
Yeah.
every time I see you, I even tell my family, like, every time I see you, I can't take you seriously because I keep seeing that 5-year-old, that 2-year-old, and you're my little sister. So it's always like, I know she's that threat. I know she's that good. I've seen it. I know she is, but she's still my little sister. So every time I see you, even when I saw you play in championships and in games, I just saw you as the little girl who was playing with the boys and who
Kicking their butt.
Yeah, kicking their butt, and they were mad about it. And playing all boys leagues, and they would hate to see you get on the court.
Yeah.
So I just, regardless of where you were in your career, I always saw the same little sister. And so, you have been a great role model to my children, to everyone that's ever seen you do anything that you do. You've been a great role model. So this day has been, I knew it was going to be a mess. So
Yeah. I didn't. I thought I was going to do better than this.
I started feeling it this morning when I knew this was going to be what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was just like dreading it. But in all honesty, I didn't dread it because it's over. I dreaded it because it's just like Mom said, it's been a way of life. It's all I've known.
Definitely.
So I dread it because I loved seeing you play, but I love seeing you take it to another realm. The activism part, it was what my sons and all the country needed when you were younger, but now it's what they need now. So I'm not upset that it's over. I'm just upset that I can't see you play anymore. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe one day I might see you coach. I'm still gonna push that. I'm still gonna push that one.
Well, no way. But no, I think for me it's just emotional because of how much I love basketball. So how much I gave to it. That's why I'm emotional. Paulino. It's crazy because people think that me and Paul, I just explained this to some people I was just talking to, and they're like, Paul is interesting. He's different. He's not like your normal sports manager. And I'm like, that's why he's my manager in a sense of I don't think people necessarily know how long me and Paul been cool. Like back in obviously we met my Connecticut Sundays. He's in Connecticut. So yeah, Paulino, I'm retiring. What the heck?
Well, I saw your last 30-point game. How about that?
I like that. He was live. Oh, you was in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you set the record for most 3.5.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's been, we're acting like Renee's dying here.
I know, it's so bad because that's what I'm so upset. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you said that because I really did not expect this. Like, I'm being so serious. I thought I was going to be like, yo, dear basketball, I love you. It's been real. Let's keep this thing going. Like, I wrote it out because I wanted to make sure, like, all right, let me make sure I thank the right people and everything like that. And then as I was saying the words, I'm like, dang, I'm going to miss basketball. So no, we're not dying. We're a very basketball family. And so we're going to miss basketball. So thank you for pointing that out, Paulino, for the other people. It's not like we're dying. this was a part of all of our lives. Like my whole family would vacation to the NCAA Final Four. They would come to the games like as family events. Like basically our family reunions were, what game are we going to go see this year, Renee? So it's like, we're still going to have family reunions and all that. But yes, this is why we are emotionally tied to basketball. And I apologize for all of the tears because I'm like mad at myself.
So how else are you feeling, Paul? Let's we've already broke down. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yes. Talk logical to us.
Well, I'll tell you, like, so how me and Renee met is just from, whoa, just hit myself. But my brand PG Sports, and I hit her up, and she was actually the first female athlete to wear PG Sports.
Let's go.
So I mean, I don't know if people still know that now. It was actually a trivia question I had too, and I don't know, I forgot if somebody got it right or something. But anyways, but yeah, just like Renee was always available, and after she commented on one of the pictures, I wanted to be in a photo shoot, and then we did it, and then ever since then,
it's crazy because I'm gonna do a teaser for an episode coming later this month. I interview Ray Allen, and Paul doesn't know this, but Ray Allen used a word. He said anybody that's successful knows that they have to be available. So that's interesting you use that word, just because I just heard that.
His interview today.
Oh, you might? Okay. Because I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. But yeah, so I guess this is me saying, dear basketball, I love you. It's been real, and let's keep the momentum going. I'm not going to go any further into it. I hope you guys enjoyed this show.
I have one thing to say, talking about Paulino and you. So remember, this is Paul, just to let you know. So I remember Renee came to visit us, and she had your shirt, or it was something she had on it had your emblem on it. And my sons liked it so much, I think she gave them.
Yeah.
I remember them having something with the symbol on it, because it was so different. It was like, it was like that cusp of people not wearing necessarily a name brand, but something that was really cool and different. And so my sons have always been about that. So they loved it. And she actually gave them some of your gear. So before we even knew who you were, my sons were wearing your gear.
If you go check it, I don't know which one it is, but if you check his profile, his picture is in it.
Oh, for real? Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's crazy because, like, everybody knows those are my babies.
Yeah.
So if they tell me they like something, I'm like, oh, what, you like this? Here, take it. I'm like, yo, take it. It's yours. So yeah, we share the PG love around here, man. I'm excited. Like, so now that I've gotten all the crying out of the way, I'm excited just for what the future holds. I want to add more momentum. I want to add more moments. I thought I was just going to have one moment turned into this. And so that's kind of crazy to me that I have the shirt on, moments equal momentum, because it really all started with one moment. I didn't know where it was taking me, but it's crazy where it took me. And I'm excited because my Too Lit crew, we are going on this journey. Y'all know y'all got to deal with my manager, Paul, for life. That's just how I function. Shouts to my agent, Eric Weissel, because I was with him my whole pro career. That's just how I move. Like, I have this loyalty thing about me. So y'all are going to be dealing with Paul all of my life. That's just how it works. My family, that they're along for the ride. They don't have a choice. I was born into that blessing. So yeah, you all, I'm just excited, and I hope that you guys just enjoy it and join in on this journey with me, just trying to create moments, trying to create change, and just trying to keep the momentum going. So that's all I have for this week. Woo! That was a show. Y'all tune in next week. Don't just tune in this week, okay? Because I bet there was a lot of newcomers this week. Don't just tune in this week. Tune in next week, because it's going to be lit as well while we connect while being remote. See y'all next time.